Sagittarius, I feel like you've grown really tired of a particular scenario. This is like a situation that you've dealt with many times before. You've tried to nip it in the bud, and your efforts haven't been quite successful. But I do feel like in this lunar cycle that got kicked off with the Pisces new moon on the 27th and will come to a culmination point on March 14th with the Virgo full moon lunar eclipse, you are getting a certain key to a very cantankerous problem. And you're finally going to settle a particular score once and for all. You're starting to recognize that something that continually is coming at you that appears to be a benevolent kind of energy or someone who appears to come forward as a friend is actually the fly in the ointment. They are the thing that is holding you back from a certain objective you have. And I do feel like this is the lunar cycle that you are going to finally have the answer to a dilemma that lays this to rest once and for all. And from there, it really frees you up to shoot for the moon and hit the mark. So we're going to dive right into this energy and see what details want to come in for you. I do feel like this has been a very frustrating, entrenched situation. You haven't been really understanding why you keep missing the mark in a certain regard. You thought that you had the solution to a particular problem before, but it just keeps cropping up. And I do feel like things are about to become very clear for you. Yeah, you're starting to get access to some secret information. And this is interesting because this same card just came out in the Scorpio read. There could be a Scorpio connection. There could also be an eighth house connection. So you could be dealing with very secretive matters or clandestine matters. You could be dealing with frenemy energies as well, where it feels like everything's all good, but behind the scenes, there are people that are working at odds toward your objective. I do feel like you have a specific desire here, and you just feel like it continually is blocked. Now, I'm noticing those two arrows crossed there on both sides. So it could be that you are dealing with another Sagittarius and you feel like things are just blocked for both of you. Maybe this is somebody that you're trying to sort of iron things out with, but something keeps coming in between you. This is possible. You can be certain, though, that there is sort of like a little bit of intel going on in this situation. People are keeping an eye on you. They're keeping an eye on your moves. And there is a little bit of a sabotaging energy here. There's some greedy energy here as well. And somebody in this situation may be behaving a little self-righteous. Okay, so let's get some more details here. See what wants to come out. Yeah, you're dealing with a selfish energy, and they've been very concealed up to this point. But I think that you're starting to pick something up here. You might have been doing a little super sleuthing yourself. And you may have noticed that somebody has become a little too big for their britches. And you're sort of sussing out the right approach to deal with this greedy person. I do feel like you're dealing with somebody who is extremely greedy here. This may be somebody who wants to partner with you. Right, 22 energy. This could be somebody that you feel is like taking more than their share of something you're supposed to be partnering on. Like it's supposed to be an equal give and take, but you're noticing that it's not really the alignment you thought it would be. Somebody's trying to exercise too much control in this situation, and it's actually creating a lot of destabilization. All right. This person may be very proud, okay? They may be a little cocky. And I think you're trying to figure out the best way to deal with this. You might even be calling in the help of some real loyal friends to help you put an end to this nonsense here. I see that, all right? I do think that you're more like leaning on men at this time rather than women. So this could give me like a little bit of a clue that you might feel like there's a particular woman in this situation who's being challenging. All right, let's see what we got here. Woo. All right, a lot wanted to come out there. but some of it got contained. Yeah, this is a little tricky character here. And I do feel like they would just love to burn up everything that you are trying to establish here. I do see there's some kind of alignment you're seeking here, probably you with another person. And somebody is trying to disrupt that for sure. But you're going to make sure that this energy can't move forward any longer. You see, we got this zombies energy here. And I do feel like in the past, this was brought to a close and it's trying to surface again. So you could be dealing with a fixed sign energy or just a lot of fixed attitudes in this situation. Energies that are still wanting to hold on to some sense of control, not wanting to release. And so this is what's causing problems with your desire to move forward in a new direction. Now, I have to say, because the rider is coming out in reverse, some of your lack of movement forward in relation to this matter could be due to your own fear. But I feel like that fear is more fear that's sort of been put on you by others who may be guiding you in the wrong direction or are sort of telling you like what could go wrong. It's like they're trying to sabotage your enthusiasm to move forward in a particular direction by letting you know, well, if you go that way, this is what's going to happen. And they're sort of like throwing too much caution into the mix when you're meant to really embrace more of an adventurous spirit. And I do feel like this is cropping up again, okay? It's pretty relentless. Whatever this is, you've tried to lay it to rest before, and this tricky element keeps resurfacing. But I do feel like this lunar cycle is when you address this once and for all. Do look for this to really come to a head with the next new moon. The next new moon will be coming in shortly after spring equinox, and it will be in the sign of Aries. Okay, so I feel like that's when you'll really bring this to a close. But right now, it's sort of like return of the night of the living dead. You know, you have to sort of dance with another particular devil one more time. With that 10 energy, there's lots of 10s on the board. You could be dealing with a Capricorn. You could be dealing with something that affects your reputation, something that affects the way people perceive you, the way they see you. It could even be something that affects your image in some way, especially your business image or your brand, all right? So I do feel like there is a need to get this under control, but it looks like somebody is trying to take more than their fair share in a situation. They may even feel like you should cut them in, like we should be partnering on this. And you're like, I don't think so. This could even be like somebody's trying to take credit for something that is yours, your creative property, your idea, your work. Okay. It could be factoring in there. And I think you are like sussing out what is the issue here. So I feel like you're kind of like laying low right now. Also, you may already know that you're going to head forward in a certain direction, but you might be concealing that just out of fear that if you do let certain people into your plans, that they might cut you off at the pass. Okay, let me do one more round here and then I'll pull out my shadow light playing cards, get some more details. Okay, that landed right on top of that rider there. So let's see what that is. Yeah, you definitely are going to open the road. I see that. In fact, the next 3 full moons will be very, very significant for you. There's a lot of new beginnings coming in. And I do feel like you're heading into uncharted territory. You may even be coming across some kind of communication that was hidden from you before. And it really is helping you connect the dots where you're finally getting the keys you need to resolve a situation. This may have even been something that has affected your security in some way. This could have even affected your online security in some way, okay? I think you're coming across like some kind of messages here, possibly online. Something is being revealed to you. Whatever you're finding out here, I do feel like you're going to keep it under wraps because you're going to sort of set your plan in motion. And I feel like when you take off in the direction you're heading in, it'll sort of take people by surprise. Because I feel like that's the problem. It's almost like I got this sense where maybe you've been announcing your plans to the wrong people. Yeah, 10:11 on the clock. Okay, so that's what sort of prevented you from coming into alignment. You've been announcing your plans to the wrong people. And I feel like whatever your plans have been that you've been sharing with somebody here, they've been telling other people about it as well. So now you're sort of like dropping this sort of, how can I put this? It's almost like you've been approaching somebody like an ally, like, oh, this person helps advise me, or I can really like talk to them about things I'm dealing with, and they really give me, good counsel about, the way forward. They sort of alert me to things that could, make something go south. And you felt like they were a helpful influence, but you're starting to not feel quite so secure about that particular connection, whoever this person is. Whatever this is, though, I feel like you're going somewhere. Like, I don't feel like you're staying in the same place, the same locale. And this could relate to many different things. This could mean that you're leaving a job to work in another environment entirely. This could mean something in relation to a move, or it could mean you are moving toward a certain person or a certain goal you have in mind that nobody's anticipating, because you're now keeping this under wraps. Like, there's been enough that's come through that's made you a little bit suspicious here. And it could even be that you're suspicious about a couple people here. I'm seeing these dogs a little differently. It's like you may have been working with two other people here, and now I see you're kind of like looking back at these two like, I don't know. Are you the ones mucking this up for me? You might be the ones mucking this up for me. Whatever this is, though, this will be a lucky cycle for you. You are meant to embrace the new, right? Out with the old, in with the new, open up your road, head in a new direction. And yes, it'll be really expansive for you, and you may feel a little out of your element at first, but this will really pay off because it's going to take you places. And what gets set in motion here will be with you for the long term. I also feel like you're coming into alignment with a whole new cast of characters. And this is very fortunate for you. Like, you are really going to team up with some people who can take you places. Travel may be connected to this. There are some travel themes here. But I do feel like you're sort of in the stages right now where you're like hatching plans. And this is the first time that you're sort of like moving in concealment, because you may recognize that somebody that you've been sharing your plans with is going and blabbing about it to everybody else. And you're starting to recognize that maybe that's the thing that's been holding you back. Yeah, look at this crossing energy here. I do feel like that's the problem. You've been educating. Look at the school bus here. You've been educating too many people about your plans. And this has burdened you. It's slowed down your progress. It's held you back. And it's time you stop like kind of pulling these people along with you, because they're actually keeping you in this place of indecision as well. They may keep you in this place where one minute you think your heart's in alignment, but then with all their cautions and all the things that could go wrong, or all the advice they're giving you starts to make you doubt what your heart's telling you to do here. So you kind of bounce back between your head and your heart. Meanwhile, it's keeping you in a place of grief. And I feel like you're finally transcending this by going your own way in this situation and leaving, it looks like a couple people out of the loop, right? Let me do a cut of the deck here, see what we got. Yeah, you realize like something here has just been bad luck, It's been bad luck. And it's something that should be good luck, but it's bad luck. And it's interesting to me because I feel like you're kind of like looking in the mirror and you're like, there must be something I'm doing that keeps making this thing go south. And you're starting to recognize that it has everything to do with who you're talking to and who you're alerting about your plans. That's what's sabotaging everything for you. Yep. Because there's somebody here you're dealing with that wants to control this situation. And many times they've put you in a tight spot. even as they're sort of pretending that they're like holding everything down for you, they're actually like uprooting you and causing you problems here. They may even sort of make you feel like you're getting a little like washed out to sea. Like they might really stir up your emotions. This person might like to seize control of situations through manipulating the emotions, destabilizing the emotions, okay? Because I do get this sense like there's points where you feel like, yes, this is really what I'm supposed to do. This feels right. And then somebody sort of seeds doubt in you, and then it throws everything off track. But you're about to bring this into proper alignment by realizing who is actually not in alignment with you. 15:44 on the clock. Yeah, you're figuring out who's this devil, man? Who's this tricky character on the scene that's causing issues for me? Let me pull out my shadow light playing cards, all right? Yeah, look at this. 3 of Spades. This is in the shadow here, and it is in reverse, okay? So I know that this element is moving out of the sphere of influence because there's some paths you're meant to come into alignment with here. And this is what you're going to figure out during this lunar cycle. You're finally going to see what has been hidden. And again, I don't know. I feel like you're coming across some kind of like communication, some kind of messages, some kind of receipts that reveals this to you, and then you know exactly what you need to do to rectify this situation. I do feel like you're getting the keys you need this lunar cycle to effectively deal with this issue once and for all, because I feel like there's sort of like this resolve within you where you're like, I'm not dealing with this anymore. Like I got to get this straightened out because this is very problematic. And it's 8:26 on the clock. 8 could be significant because that's double eights. 16, okay? There's some tower you're bringing here to a certain energy that thought they had the upper hand, but it's your victory here. Ooh, and I like that. This is good. The Joker is going to have their day, and that Joker is you, because I feel like you're fooling somebody who tried to play you for a fool. You now know where you do need to sort of like have your guard up. Like you know what you need to ward here to prevent you from future loss. And this is what's going to open the road for you. I like this. Look at this. It's good to be king. You're very much in your power here. This is really good energy. Your energy coming out in the light, very strong, very focused here. Okay, so this looks good. What came out here? Now, this energy that came out is right on top of that sort of fox concealment energy with the zombies in reverse, all right? So it's interesting because there's like this shadow card is covering the light. So let's see what the shadow influence is. Oh, it's somebody's really trying to slow you down here. You got earth sign energy, okay? It could even be in relation to finances for some of you, but this is somebody, their objective has really been to slow you down. Could have even been trying to shoot down an idea of yours, maybe telling you like, oh, that'll never work. This is why it'll never work. Actually, it's the very thing you should bank off. It would really pay off for you. But you got a tricky character here that you're dealing with for sure. And what do we got here? Do you see? Look at this. This is what they're trying to slow down. This is something you're supposed to come into alignment with the 6 of Hearts coming up in the light. This could even be, it did say maybe you were wanting to come into alignment with a certain someone here. This could be somebody that you really feel like a synergy with. You feel like this person understands me. This person gets me, you know. This is somebody I'm meant to partner with. And somebody, yeah, 1919 on the clock to 1922. Okay, so yeah, this is somebody you feel like this is my sunshine, you know. This person brings me happiness, you know. We're really alike, you know. There's some kind of synergy there with this person. With the 19 energy coming in, could be a Leo that you're dealing with here. There could be some kind of past connection here as well. I do feel like that's sort of been the problem. It's like there's somebody you're meant to partner with or come together with here, and you got some outside force here that is really working to slow this down for you. And I feel like it's somebody that you've been confiding in or trying to get some advice from. And this is somebody in your friendship circle. You've talked to this person quite a few times. Whoever they are, they're going out and blabbing what you're sharing with them to other people. And this is what's causing, things to sort of go awry for you. And it's also why you're having sort of a cyclical a cyclical cyclical you're having a cyclical problem here where it's like it's just this repeat problem that keeps like presenting itself over and over and over again. It's got like Groundhog Day vibes. Okay, let me do a cut of the deck here and see what we got. Yeah, this is betrayal. Okay, so there's somebody that you've been dealing with, that you've been sharing these plans with, and they're stabbing you in the back. They're trying to slow you down and they're trying to sabotage this. Oh my gosh, it's such confirmation. Look at this. With the 7 of Spades, this is somebody that's trying to really thwart you here. This could even be somebody that feels like, no, that's my opportunity, or no, that's my person. And so they're sort of like competing with you. They're competing with you and trying to work against you, and may even be slanting what you're telling them in such a way that it makes you come off in a very unfavorable light. And this could be something that's going on social media. Okay, so maybe you've noticed some posts on social media and you're like, wait a minute, what do you mean? What do you mean about that? Like you might be noticing that somebody's like sneak dissing you online, something like that. Doesn't feel right to you, or they're like revealing little tidbits of something you shared with them privately, and you're like, wait a minute, something isn't right here. It was 22:08 to 22:11 on the clock with that. 8 is significant. Okay, that makes me think of August. So you certainly could be dealing with a Leo. That energy came out. There could be a Virgo in connection with this as well, or something about the 8th is significant. You could be dealing with a life path 8, or somebody was born on the 8th. Pay attention as well. What is the date today? I don't think it's the 8th yet. Okay, something may go down on the 8th of March that you really need to pay attention to, especially online, that will give you a clue about this. Let me see what's behind that. Yep. It's something that's been a source of disappointment for you, okay, with the 4 of Hearts. And with that, we got a Queen of Clubs coming in there, okay? So whoever this is, like this is somebody that you're supposed to be coming into alignment with. I mean, we got the King of Clubs in the light to the Queen of Clubs in the light, all right? Somebody you're supposed to come into alignment with, but somebody is repeatedly causing disappointment in this situation. 23:23 on the clock. They may even be like stirring things up, creating some kind of chaos in this situation, destabilizing it. Yeah. And it's making it so something that should work isn't working. All right? Isn't working. And why? Because somebody is envious here. And we got the King of Hearts there coming up in the shadows. So this is an energy that, again, they may feel like, no, that's my opportunity, or that should go to me. There's a little bit of like an envious, kind of jealous energy here. Also a very manipulative energy, water sign energy coming in with that. Also possible false soulmate energy coming in with that, with the 6 of Hearts showing up in the shadow. So it looks like you got water, earth on the board. And again, there was that piece about you might be coming into alignment with another fire sign. Like that's what you got your sights set on. And there's somebody here who's really like mucking things up here, right? Mucking things up. They don't want to see you come into alignment with this at all. And so they're trying to destabilize this by affecting your choices here, so you don't really feel empowered about the direction you're heading in. but I do feel like you're going to resolve this. You're going to start to realize what the fly in the ointment is. And once you leave that behind, you also leave behind this cycle that's caused a lot of loss, a lot of disappointment. And I feel like you're going to be very decisive here. You're going to effectively cut this off. This looks really good. King of Spades coming up in the light. You may have a strong air sign placement in your chart. You are being asked in this situation to make a decision that's head over heart. Look at things clearly. Don't get all mired in like the way things used to be, because something has shifted in this dynamic that's sabotaging you. And I do think once you see it, you can't unsee it. And I believe it comes through a message. And whatever choice you make here, it looks like it's freeing you from this repetitive cycle. And from there, you're home free.